Yes, well,
Windows.
we need to start with a little music and a sniff. What do you think? You've reached the dank basement, and I am the altered personality of Uncle Squinty. I don't know exactly why I'm altered. Perhaps it's French vanilla scented coffee. I don't know. But let's listen to a little music, and I'll take a little pinch of some Toque Artisan Dark Rapeé. And I really, really, really want you, all of you, to please get some snuff and stick it up your nose hole. Okay? Let's play some music. This is going to be groovy.
Camera. Cam.
I am not a whore. I am not a whore.
Don't eat me, but sure like the bone.
Ruff!
I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. Because I'm happy. Come along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Come along if you feel like happiness is the truth. You're breaking my heart. You're tearing it apart. So fuck you.
I love a little coffee and music in the morning. How are you doing? Greetings from the dank basement. I am Paul Shellbetter, returned to normal after tooting the fruit, taking some dark Rapeé from Toque Artisan, and glugging some of this delicious French vanilla flavored coffee, which we initially bought by accident. My wife went grocery shopping at Aldi. Coffee's pretty cheap at Aldi. And she was with a friend, and the friend was helping Betsy look for French roast, didn't really read the bag, just grabbed something that said French on it, ended up being French vanilla. But it's what we have, so it's what I'm drinking. Cheers. I'm not much of a booze hound, and it's a little too early for alcohol. It's not even, I don't think, 1 o'clock in the afternoon here yet. I'm doing this a little earlier so that I can get it uploaded for my European friends. I don't want Tom or Phil or Alex to stay up past their bedtimes. So anyway, I want to repeat a little bit some of the news because I'm still so excited about it, and I really am. It's going to be great. First of all, we've got the soon to re-emerge from the depths of despair OSP Snuff, and it's coming mid-May to Mr. Snuff. That will be batch 0. Chris is also working on a second batch. I do not know how he will name it or number it, but that will also probably debut at the same time on Mr. Snuff in mid-May. So we may have 2 Snuffs to look forward to. I have been begging him for samples, and he won't send me one yet. He's waiting till closer to the debut date. I've been begging, pleading. I will buy a sample. No, you can't. I can't sell you tobacco. You know that. Okay. Well, then I'll send you postage, and you could just send me a sample. No, not yet. Not yet, Paul. Not yet. You got to wait. Okay. So we're all waiting together. Now, that's not the only exciting things happening in the world of artisan snuffs. I alluded to the fact that I had heard through the tobacco vine that Jeremy at Gadsden Mill was ready to start back up again. And I did not have any verification of that except the word of some snuff aficionado friends. But I get an email, I think it was day before yesterday, from Jeremy saying we need to do a video call soon. We'll do it for our mutual channels and talk about the changes and improvements and advances that are happening with Gadsden Mill Snuff. Apparently, Jeremy is going to be getting a larger facility, a larger building in which to craft his snuffs, and I think he said some new machinery. I'm presuming milling machines. So if that is the case, it's going to be fantastic because we will have not one but 2, Artisans returning to the fold, and that is great news for fans of Artisan snuffs. I get some beginners questions, and one of the questions I get most frequently is, well, it's a two-part question. First of all, where do I get snuff? I only know of 2 retailers right now. There may be others, and if there are still other retailers active, you can write that information in the comments section, but be sure to find out which countries they ship to. I know that a snuff store in Germany is still doing business, but they won't ship to the US, as far as I know. So what I'd like you to do, if you've got another retail source for nasal snuff, write it in the comments section for all of the viewers and myself as well. But right now we're limited to toquesnuff.com, Roderick and his team there, and also the reborn MrSnuff.com. And I say reborn because the original owner, David, has passed the business on to his brother, Johnny. Johnny is fanatical about nasal snuff and nasal snuff quality. And that's the first answer. I guess it's down to those 2 retailers in England right now. You may be able to find some nasal snuffs, particularly Purcell's, in duty-free stores and airports around the world. You will also occasionally find Toque Silver Dollar snuff at your local tobacco store if you have got a brick-and-mortar tobacco store. Snoopy makes and sells snuff. I do not know who carries it, and I have not yet tried it. I'm probably forgetting one of the retailers, but that's where I get my snuff, basically, is those 2 retailers. Okay. The second part of the question is, what happens at customs? I've heard on the internets that some snuff customers are not receiving their packages. The truth is, yeah, they do get their packages, but it takes a lot longer than anybody planned. What happens is packages get held up in U.S. Customs. Sometimes they just get held up. Sometimes they get returned to the retailer. This is usually because the customs agents are not informed. Tobacco is tobacco, right? Although they wouldn't have problems with pipe tobacco shipped from England. From a retailer, but nasal snuff is something misunderstood. So occasionally, even though you try to tell them, they will not figure it out. But yeah, it's legal to send snuff from England to the U.S. and pipe tobacco and stuff like that, just not cigarettes. Same thing, we can't ship cigarettes to them either. But we can ship pipe tobacco, nasal snuff. But sometimes customs messes up. But it's legal to receive snuff through the mail, and if you do have a package that is lost or held up or returned or whatever, in my experience, both retailers do their damnedest to make sure you get your snuff. So that's that question answered. I am not a doctor, but people will occasionally ask me health questions about snuff. Here is what I can tell you, what I know for sure. Nicotine is not a neutral drug. It may be dangerous for persons, especially if they have high blood pressure, brain bleeding, something like that, because it does increase it decreases the size of your blood vessels. It's a vasoconstrictor. It's also a heart stimulant. So if you've got high blood pressure problems, you probably don't want to use nicotine. I also know that there has never been one single case of nasopharyngeal cancer recorded in the 550-year history of nasal snuff. Not one. There have been 3 cancer deaths that I know of attributed to snuff, dry snuff. One was a Welsh farmer in the late 18th century who had a habit of stuffing the snuff into one of his ears, and maybe to try to stop a ringing ear. That may have been a folk remedy back then, was to put snuff in your ear. But he developed cancer in his ear canal. There were 2 elderly African-American ladies in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and they both used dry snuff orally. That's where the term dip comes from. You would dip a moistened twig from a sweet gum tree or a toothpick, or God help you, the non-business end of a matchstick, into the dry snuff, and then you'd put it into your mouth between your cheek and gum and let your gums absorb the nicotine, and you'd enjoy the flavor. That's not how the two sisters did it. They used to take a teaspoonful and just pack it around their gums and sit there all day just like this. And they both developed and died from oral cancer. Sadly, I have not been able to find the names of the women who passed away, nor, for that matter, of the Welsh farmer that put the snuff in his ear. For the reasons of what I have observed, I think that although all tobacco products, especially ones that have been subjected to fire, and that would include toasted nasal snuffs or fire-cured tobacco of any kind, they're higher in a cancer-causing chemical called nitrosamines. And so you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Don't take my word for any of this. Do your own research. Make sure if you're searching on the internet that it's a website that's reputable and has good information. I recommend the Mayo website or WebMD. They're both very good, but there are others. Do your own research and talk to your own healthcare professional. If you know a nose doctor, like an ear, nose, and throat guy, an otolaryngologist, be sure to ask him if you want to use nasal snuff. If you're concerned about it at all, and it is your health, take care of it. Don't take my word for it. End of public service announcement. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I didn't. But you have to say it, because it's important information. Yeah, nicotine is not a neutral drug, although it does have some very academically researched benefits, including increase in focus, attention, and so on. Nicotine also is a really strange drug in that if you are really low energy, it will give you energy, but if you are stressed, it will actually calm you. The calming may or may not come from the nicotine. It may be from the ritual of using the tobacco. But either way, if you're stressed, a lot of times using tobacco, even nasal stuff, will chill you out. Cheers. Also, nicotine is an appetite suppressant. I'm a little suspicious of all the new hormonal shots that they're trying to give everybody to lose weight. That shit scares me. But I do know that nicotine will curb my appetite, and that's good because I'm trying to maintain a healthy weight. And I get plenty of nicotine for that purpose through nasal snuff alone. Don't need to smoke my pipe or anything. So nicotine does have some benefits, but there's risks. So just thought we should talk about that. I hope you guys, whatever you are doing, have a fantastic Saturday for the rest of the day or evening. And I hope the rest of your weekend is fulfilling and fun and full of love. And God help us all, greasy, nasty, sweet sex. And if you don't get any of the greasy, nasty, sweet sex, I've got numbers. Drop me an email. That's a joke. I am not promoting Tostaprushin on this channel. I would not do that. Until the next time I see you, take care of yourselves. Thanks for subscribing, liking, hitting the notification bell icon, and most of all, thank you for your comments. We will see you next time. God bless you.